Caitlin Clark is the only player in the history of the WNBA to average 17 points and 8 assists per game in their rookie season. In fact, of all the rookies who averaged at least 17, Clark is almost
no traditional common play for Caitlin Clark. In her diary, it's just super play. The rookie had a cold start to her first season in the WNBA, so her team struggled initially. But now, Clark has turned everything around, positioning herself at the top of the Rookie of the Year race, elevating her team to number 7, and making them a favorite to enter the playoffs. Here's how Clark's playmaking skills proved to be incredible. Even after a tough start, Clark broke the WNBA record for assists in a game Wednesday night, finishing with 19 in the Fever's 101-93 loss to the Dallas Wings. "I just try to set my teammates up for success," Clark said. "I think at times I can almost overpass." The previous record was 18 by Courtney Vandersloot for Chicago on Aug. 31-2020. Vandersloot also had 18 in a playoff game on September 28, 2021. The league's previous record for assists by a rookie was 16, set by Ticha Penicheiro for Sacramento on July 29, 1998. The record breaker for Clark came on a play where she set up Kelsey Mitchell for a three-pointer with 2:22 remaining. That tied the game at 93, but Dallas closed with an 8-0 run that included a turnover by Clark with the Fever trailing by 4 with 36 seconds left. Clark entered the game as the WNBA's assists per game leader this season. She also added 24 points on 10 for 19 shooting.
Toward her left side. While her arm swing up may seem a little bit unconventional, it's a big reason why she's so successful. And it's the same kind of unconventionality you'll get from using the internet browser.
The Fever head into July 17th with consecutive wins against the Mercury and Lynx, propelling them to 7th place in the league after a challenging season start. This streak has moved Indiana into playoff contention, and facing a 5-win Wings team offers a chance to gain more momentum. Clark, on the other hand, had a less efficient outing against Minnesota than she hoped for. However, with 5 double-doubles in her last 6 games, she's finding her rhythm just in time for the All-Star game. Here are Clark's full stats from Indiana's game against the Wings last Wednesday. Not only this, but Caitlin Clark was on fire, and the Phoenix Mercury defense couldn't handle her on the night of July 12th. The Indiana rookie racked up 20 points, hitting 8 of her 16 shots, while also dishing out 13 assists and grabbing 6 rebounds. She came out strong, helping the Fever secure a 12-point lead by the end of the first quarter and extending it to 20 points by halftime. The Fever secured a 95-86 victory, fending off a late surge from the Mercury that cut their lead to just 4 points. There was no rematch between Taurasi and Clark, as the veteran guard was sidelined due to injury. The Mercury also lost Brittany Griner for most of the game after she exited with a hip injury. Clark's outstanding performance earned the Fever their 10th win of the season, keeping them in playoff contention as the All-Star and Olympic break approaches. The rookie is on a hot streak, achieving double-doubles in 5 consecutive games with double-digit points and assists. During the Indiana Fever's June 27th loss to the Seattle Storm, Caitlin Clark ran 16 pick-and-roll plays, facing traps on 10 of them. This intense defensive focus has been standard for the top overall draft pick, who has spent the first half of her rookie season adjusting to the professional level while being defended like a WNBA superstar. "It's a women's game now," said Fever veteran Erica Wheeler. "It's not college anymore. We're a lot faster and stronger." She struggled a bit at first because she wasn't used to the physicality, but now she's got it. She's reading the game much better, and her stats prove it. Through 22 games, Clark was averaging 16.1 points, 6.0 rebounds, and 7.4 assists, making her the 4th player and first rookie to achieve a 15.55 season. She leads all rookies in scoring and assists, ranks 2nd in the league for assists, and broke the Fever's rookie assist record in just 20 games. Moreover, she also became the first rookie ever to notch a triple-double. Clark could do it all offensively, but while her deep three-point shooting is her superpower, as Steph Curry called it earlier this year, her playmaking is perhaps the most thrilling part of her game.
And that's all Clark needs to thread the needle to Nalissa Smith for yet another layup. And she commands so much gravity that no less than 3 defenders surround her out top when she comes off that screen. The first check going to the left is this defender, who is strangely way too close to a poor shooter. Clark knows the pocket pass will be open and she can control the screener's defender. The fear of a deep 3 going to her left is very real, and Clark gets McGowan to slightly wave at her. And that's all she needs as she bounces the ball right next to McGowan's feet, hitting the roller in stride for the easy.
She sees plays developing, sometimes even before the player receiving the pass does, Fever coach Christy Side said, describing her as a hell of a passer. Most of Clark's assists came from the pick and roll, which made up over 50% of her possessions. She runs 14.1 pick and rolls per game, second only to Sabrina Ionescu and tied for the most by any rookie in the past decade. Due to her unique skills, opponents often double-team Clark to, as Chicago Sky coach Teresa Weatherspoon puts it, get the ball out of her hands as quickly as possible and force others to make decisions. In Clark's first 20 games, she faced blitzes in the pick and roll 89 times, according to Second Spectrum, nearly double the next highest player, Ionescu, who faced 46. The level of pressure that Clark is dealing with is so unique that even Wheeler, who twice led the WNBA in total pick and rolls, has struggled at times to instruct her younger teammate. "Nobody plays me how they play her," Wheeler said. "It's a unique situation because literally they trap her at half court. I've never had that." The Fever have relied heavily on their male practice squad to help Clark adapt to the increased athleticism and strength of opponents, running as many reps as possible when they get the opportunity. It's no surprise that Clark has looked more comfortable ever since their outrageous opening stretch of 11 games in 20 days came to an end, and she feels her reads have definitely gotten better. As Clark has settled in, so too have her teammates, who have also had to acclimate to a heavy pick-and-roll system. None more so than Aaliyah Boston, a predominantly back-to-the-basket center throughout her career. Boston's 49 possessions as a roller through 22 games are nearly as many as her 63 all of last season. And that only includes instances where she took a shot, got fouled, or turned it over, not those where she kept the ball moving. Clark has set up 53 of Boston's 79 assisted field goals, making it the most frequent connection on the team. Interestingly, only 17 of these assists occurred in the first 13 games, while 36 have come during their recent 6-3 run. During a recent Q&A on social media, Boston was asked about her favorite play to run with Clark. Her answer was expected: any type of ball screen action, because she always makes a great read. Here's a deeper look at the numbers behind the Clark-Boston pick and roll during this turnaround, which includes victories over the Mercury and Liberty. In their recent game, the team had 65 possessions, scoring a total of 63 points. With a points per possession (PPP) of 0.969, they matched the second most efficient offense in the league. They managed to take 49 quality shots but also committed 11 turnovers. Boston has become more adept as a roller because of a classy Clark, whether she's finishing at the rim on a deep roll or making a decision as a passer on a short roll. As Clark, Boston, and the Fever have learned to navigate blitzing defenses, teams have started to back off that strategy. This has given Clark more opportunities to create plays, whether it's pulling up for a three-pointer or driving to the basket. At some point soon, the Clark-Boston pick and roll will be the best play in basketball. That day might come sooner than we expected. The chemistry and getting to play with one another, you kind of get on the same page with your minds, Clark said.
What drew so much attention in the first place is her long-range shooting. I'm not sure we've ever seen a basketball player with the complete and utter audacity to attempt some of the threes that she does. Whether that means firing over a heavy contest.
Clark will likely always be among the leaders in turnovers due to how much she controls the offense, but there's not much long-term concern in that department. Rookie point guards have always struggled with taking care of the ball, and none of them have been the #1 name on the scouting report. Despite a brilliant start to her career, Clark was a controversial final cut from Team USA's roster and will not be on the plane to Paris for the Olympics. The upside is that after she gets back from the All-Star game with Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, she'll be able to enjoy her first real break since last summer, and the Fever will get a de facto second training camp with their entire roster. Halfway through her rookie season, Clark is arguably the best point guard in the league, and at the rate she's improving, there may not be any debate once play resumes after the Olympic break. Already she's scored or assisted on more points, 7-1-3, than any other player. As Wheeler said, numbers don't lie. Now share your thoughts about Clark and her exceptional playmaking in the comments below. Remember to subscribe for the latest updates on Clark's record-breaking performances. See you in the next video.